Hey guys, welcome back to Messy Momma Monday. I actually almost forgot that it was Monday because I'm just super excited today because we're going to go get something for all of us. It's a really big purchase and these things are really big that we're going to go get today. But we're just really excited about it. And I don't want to mention it yet. I'll mention it in next Monday's video, what we went and got. But we're going to get those this afternoon. It's just super exciting. The kids are excited. They're on spring break, so they get to go with me to go get them. And it's kind of like what's going to make spring break fun. So that's kind of cool. Last week, I picked up some chickens. I now own chickens, which is pretty funny. I've always wanted them, but I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing because I've never owned chickens before, but they're just super cute. So if you hear chirping in the background, it's because I have 18 baby chicks in my bedroom, which is just right next door to this little room. So you might hear some chirping every now and then from them. But today I want to talk about something that can be hard for couples, can be hard for people in general, especially in today's world. And we don't realize the impact it has until it's usually too late. So the thing I want to talk about is talking. What you speak kind of comes to fruition. Like when you're talking about your spouse, like if your spouse did something wrong or made you mad and you run off and go tell your friends about it and tell them about how awful he is or how awful she is, and this happens all the time, that is wrong. It's 100% wrong and we shouldn't do it. And I understand because I used to do that, and I would not talk my husband up. I would usually talk him down because I would see the bad and not the good. And that made me no better of a person than he is. Made me no better of a person than anyone else. Like I was sinning by doing that, right? And I haven't done that in a very, very long time. But that's what it was in the beginning of our marriage. But I was 19. I didn't have a mind of my own yet. And we had a kid at 19 and we got married and we moved and he started working away and I was dealing with postpartum depression. Okay. But it was just like a whole ordeal, right? Everything was just all at once. And then I was a terrible 19 to 24-year-old, honestly. But when we talk down about our spouses to our friends or on the internet or in general, just in front of our kids, like that's terrible. We should never talk down about our spouse in front of our kids. We shouldn't argue in front of our kids. Slight disagreements, yeah, maybe, but not like a full-out argument in front of our children because they need to see you disagree, but also disagree lovingly. But I was looking at Craig Groeschel's Instagram the other day. I follow him. He is the pastor of Life Church in Oklahoma, and they have like 30 something campuses now in the US, and they're actually the founders of the Bible app that I love so much. It has so many different things you can do on it, so many options, and I love listening to their church. I listen online because we live in Texas and there's not one here near us anyway. But I listen to them online. And I love all his books and his wife's book, him and his wife's books. They wrote a book on marriage and it's amazing. You should definitely pick it up. It's called From This Day Forward, I believe. Oh, it's on my bookshelf over there. But it's Craig Groeschel and his wife, and they wrote a marriage book. You can look it up on Amazon. You'll find it. It's really awesome. But he said the other day, I think it was yesterday, he posted, or a couple days ago, he posted a video about when you think a good thought about your spouse, speak it. And I was like, that is actually really sound advice. If you have a good thought about your spouse, speak it. Tell it to them. Text it to them. Call them real quick and tell them. Write them a note. Leave them a note on the mirror in a dry erase marker because those come off of the mirror. You can write on them all day long. You just wipe it off with glass cleaner. But when we think of a good thought about our spouse, we should tell them. We should just continue to speak these good things over our spouses and to our spouses. One, it builds their confidence and their self-esteem. 2, it lets them know they're doing a good job in life, and because a lot of times it's stressful and you can just tell them something and it completely changes their day. 3, when we are speaking good about our spouse, we see more good than we see bad. When you're talking negative to your spouse, all you're going to see is everything negative that they do that bugs you. If you're going to see their socks on the floor, their plate left on the counter, their jeans left in the living room, their remotes left all over and not in the place where you put it back. If they cook, they leave the dishes on the stove and the trash was never taken out and they didn't wash the toothpaste out of the sink. Like, if you just completely talk negative about your husband or your wife, you're going to see all those things that you don't like, and it's really, really going to harden your heart against them. It's going to make you not appreciate them. It's going to make you not like them. It's going to make you kind of be resentful towards them. It's going to make you turn cold against them and give them the cold shoulder, and you probably won't want to be intimate with them. You'll probably just kind of shrug them off that they want to hug you or anything. It's a whole lot, right? If you do the negative outcomes. But when you think of something positive, maybe he made you smile that day and you tell him that that really did make you smile, or he or she, your spouse, decided to, I don't know, like, just do the little things. Like, when my husband stops at the gas station on the way home and he brings me something back with him, makes my day. Love it. If your spouse is in school and they pass a test and you just tell them how proud you are of them, or you come home from work and your wife looks kind of frazzled and you tell her that she's doing a great job of being a mother. Like, tell her, like, you did awesome today. You do awesome every day. It's just, you're gonna see, when you start encouraging your spouse and tell them the good, tell them, you're really beautiful, you're handsome, I love your smile, like anything positive. You're gonna start seeing all the positive things in your spouse, and you're not gonna see those negatives that used to bug you, and they won't bug you anymore. Not really one bit. My husband can leave the dishes on the counter, his plate on the counter, his socks on the floor, hair in the sink from shaving, and you know what? I don't even care. I'll wash the hair out of the sink. I won't even say nothing about it. It doesn't bother me. I'm going in there anyway. I'm just going to wash it out. I'll put the dishes in the sink. I will pick up his plate after dinner. I don't care, because those things don't bug me. They don't bug me at all, because I know that if he was not here one day, I would 100% miss those things that used to bug me, because he wouldn't be here to do them anymore. So we need to encourage each other, because what we say has a huge impact on each other, on society, on how we perceive things. And it even says that in the Bible in James chapter 3. It tells us that our tongue is powerful, and the things that we say have a huge effect on our lives and our spouses and everyone around us. When you're just insulting your spouse, you'll end up not liking them, resenting them, and it might end in divorce. And that's not something that God wants for our marriage. He wants us to love each other and be kind to each other and show each other the grace and forgiveness that God shows us every day. And if we're not doing that, then we're no better than anyone else. We are sinning just as much as anyone else around us. And no sin is greater than the other. So once we do that, we're all equal. We're all sinning together, and we're all just being negative. So I encourage you to find something today that you can speak over your spouse that is encouraging, uplifting, loving, and supporting of them. Anything at all. You can say, I support you in your new writing journey, or I think this is really cool that you do this. You know, whatever it is. But I encourage you to do that today, and do that. Find one thing every day that you can tell your spouse that is positive instead of negative, and watch your mindset change.